Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Sweet Tips here, and today what we're going to do is disassemble the silver cell and harvest our pure silver crystal. And we're going to start this out by getting these bars out of here, moving the anode bar out of the way. And I've got some tweezers, and what we'll do is pick those bars out. We want to save these because we'll use these. See how it's touching the electrolyte down there? And that's why we have these in here, so we don't dissolve the anode electrode bar. We'll dissolve these first before we dissolve our valuable anode electrode bar. And set it on this beaker carefully. There we go. Here's a look at the pure silver in the silver cell. It looks magnificent. Beautiful crystal growth. Nice big chunky crystals. Let's disconnect our cathode connection. I'm going to pick this up now and pour the electrolyte off into our electrolyte storage bucket here. Here's a look at the pure silver crystal down inside the silver cell. Cement the silver out of the electrolyte, rinse everything off, cement it out on copper, and then use it as feedstock for my silver cell. This stuff looks just absolutely stunning. It looks like snow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a weight on our material. Put it on this scale. Zero this out. Got a little bit more silver here. It's in this beaker. And now we're going to set this up on our scale. I've got the weight written on here somewhere, so I can find it. Right there, 1366. So we got 3988. 3988 minus 1366 equals 2,622 grams of high purity silver. And this stuff looks absolutely stunning, just beautiful. Let's divide that by 31.1 grams. So we've got 84.3 troy ounces of high purity silver in from our electrolytic silver cell from the beast. So we only got about half of what we were expecting from our yield from the beast. But that's okay, man. I'll take it. And 84 troy ounces of high purity silver crystal. And we'll set some of this aside and use it to make the electrolyte for our next silver cell run. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's see if we can pull this off. This is some of our pure silver that we just refined. Let me see, what are we going for here? OZT, troy ounces. Zero it out. Let's see what we can put in here. Let's see here. .08 troy ounces. Let's take this out on the melt table and see if we can melt this up a pure silver bar. Here's the bar. And it got some skin, some flux came over with it. Let's see, let's make sure it weighs proper before we process it any further. 5.06 troy ounces. All right, here's our pure silver bar. Looks spectacular, except for that coating of flux that came over with the pour. Put it down in this beaker, and I'm going to add some distilled water, just enough to cover it. Add some low heat, and then we'll put in a couple droppers of, that's about 150 milliliters. So we're going to put in about 6 milliliters of sulfuric acid. And what this will do is that should dissolve off that crusting of flux there for us. That took about 20 minutes. That was a heavy coating of flux on there. Normally it just takes 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and put this down in the sink now and get this weak acid solution rinsed off of there. Let's reach down in here and get this thing out of here. See how this thing is looking. Not bad. Not bad at all. Left a little bit of a scar on there from that flux that came over, but I can see the blue speckles in there, indicating high purity silver. Here's the bar. Let's check the weight one more time. See those blue speckles? They're just gorgeous. And let's check the weight. We're 5.05 troy ounces now. Well, looky there. I haven't made and stamped one of these bars in a long time. We've got 999 fine silver, and then today's date, 2025-0917, 5 troy ounces OZT, and then 3 tips. Let's make sure it's going to weigh in at 5 ounces. We got 5.05 troy ounces. And we'll list this on the eBay site, put it up for bids. I'm pleased with it. Came out pretty nice. This will conclude the video. Thank you for watching.